Okay, for this tutorial we're going to be working with variables. I'm using Notepad to type in to code all my PHP. You can use whatever software you like. For me, Notepad is the easier way to go. A good rule of practice is to include a title. For this one I just chose to use variable tutorial, and that's what's going to be displayed up here at the top of your web browser. So always good practice to put something there. We start off all PHP code with a bracket with the greater than but less than sign followed by the question mark, and PHP, which does not have to be in capital letters or lowercase letters. It's either or. And then we end it with our question mark being 8 by the little alligator symbol. So that's how we start and end our PHP code. And we always want it in the body of our HTML. So when we start off a variable, which is used to store strings of characters or strings of integers, numbers, we started off with the $, and that goes for either or characters or numbers. And then when you name your variable something applicable that you're going to be able to reference back to if you get an error or need to change something. And then the assignment operator, or equal sign if you prefer, with a single quote, the information to be stored there, and then end it with a single quote, and lastly in line with a semicolon. And I went ahead and drew up this code real quick for you, so you might want to pause it here to type this out in your own text editor or PHP editor, and catch up with what I had there and then me back when you're done. For everybody that already has this code typed out, we're going to go ahead and end this line of code and start a new one, and we're just going to call this print with our parentheses that follows the print command, and then our variable name, which is the $, to declare as a variable, and my name, and end our print command with the parentheses, and end the line of code with the semicolon. So now when you run it, you should end up with something like this with your name here. Okay, so our next little trick is I'm going to show you how to add in your age here. So we're going to start a new line, and we're going to create a new variable, and we're just going to go ahead and name it my age. And you can use whatever number you want here. I'm just going to use 99. So now if you ran this code, you would still only end up with your name printed on the screen. So what we want to do here is add a full stop by using the period, and then add in the call the variable, by typing it out, my age. So what it's going to do is it's going to print to the screen your name and then your age. Now again, if you ran the code right now, what you would end up with is your name and then your age would be bundled together. You might want to try that and see how it looks. And what we want to do to fix that is at the end of Ralphie Rocks, or at the end of your name, go ahead and put a space there in between the single parenthesis, the single quote, and the last letter in your name. And what that's going to do is it's going to create a space in between these two, so when they print out, it's going to have your name with a space and then your age. So this was just a quick introduction to variables and to show you how information is stored in them, either with letters or numbers, and you could even use a mixture of both. There's a lot of fun things you can do with them, and they're going to be one of the main things. Later on you're going to see how we're going to be able to store usernames and passwords in the variables and call them later to check against a database. So you can deny people access to a forum, to a website, whatever. It's just a way to show you. This is just a brief, quick introduction into them to give you a little understanding. And what I'd like everybody to do, if you have the time, is to play with these and change these around, add more variables, add more print commands, and just see what you come up with. Part of the learning is just trying this all out on your own. And I don't include the text files for download because typing it out, the more you type it out, the more it sticks with you. So just play with these, change these around, and see what you can come up with. And leave me a post about it and let me know what you came up with, and I'll check it out. Thank you for tuning in, and look forward to the next tutorial.